A while ago I posted a poem called The Good Old Days, and someone asked me if I was planning on posting any more poetry. I wasn't really, but I don't see why not. People did seem to react to it. They didn't get pissed off and say, "Ew, poetry, fuck, man." So I'm gonna read a few poems. If poetry is not your thing, then come back tomorrow. So let's get started. This one is entitled Hope. There exists a desert of endless shattered glass, rusty nails, broken needles, and corroded metal scraps. Walking through this desert, naked as our sins, is a frail boy named Hope, with sick, translucent skin. Hope staggers through the desert, looking for a sign of something to relieve his burden-laden mind. And though the pain is constant, time never lessens the dread, and behind him in the desert he leaves a trail of red. He's never passed a minute without shedding a tear. He has never known a moment that wasn't filled with fear. Not once has he smiled or seen a smiling face. He has never spent a single day outside this place. All he does is suffer as he trudges through the glass, the nails, the needles, the junk that's strewn along his path. Mortal minds cannot imagine the sheer extent of his strife. He knows more pain in a moment than you'll know in your whole life. But he keeps walking. This one is entitled The Conquered Worm, which is a takeoff of Edgar Allan Poe's The Conqueror Worm, and it's kind of a response to his body of work. Build for me a cradle within the setting sun, as the its count the theys without forgetting one. Once upon a midnight dreary really only works in theory, for in this world of tales told by the timid of the bold, there is no perfect setting, no magical unfolding, no justice left not regretting the method of its scolding. And I finally see, at last, at length, the depths to which my faith can sink, in ever-mocking morbid prose of fools still clinging to the rose, into a shallow grave of noise, no eulogized girl hearts, nor the brains of little boys, just a paltry dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. In a love devoid of loving, the music ne'er does stop, and the tyrants whip their slaves like dancers 'neath teardrops. The worm they sent to eat our kind has fallen ill and lost his mind. So now we stand on the bank of the brook and ready him for the conqueror hook. He writhes, relentless despite his loss. There is no chance of escape, no salvation from this cross. Once world slayer, now fish bait. And none of you can measure the power of this treasure. For whatever sum you could afford, it always costs a penny more. It is vast beyond the means of mortal minds to grasp, and whenever it seems like you know at last, it throws off its mask and laughs. This one is untitled. There is venom here, said Loki to the bleeding moon. In every tear it lingers with the intent to consume the evening's rapist fingers that play pianos always and always out of tune. What miserly viceroy of vice asked twice to view what so few had imbued into lice? A gallery of misfortunes, all framed in deceit, is the face beneath the mask of the child who is meat, and the victory recorded as unequivocal defeat. Religion becomes the devil's middle name, and want and obtain become one in the same. A string for the heart, a hand in the hole, a key in the teeth now, a lock in the soul. The insects indulged in the flesh of the sexless, and bore holes in the skulls of the weary relentless. So what is the longing, and why do I know it? And where does it come from, and how can I show it to those without passion and those without brain? I can't open every heart, I can't always explain every tiny little aspect of every nuanced little thing that comes into my head. I want all the best parts of living, plus the perks of being dead. The channel was changed by the children in chains who are sick of the sickness that sticks to the waves. If vacancy abandons me, then what's left? If a thief steals my lack of possessions, is that theft? I laugh at the morning and weep at the day, dance with the evening. By midnight I pray that the clock that killed Dolly will somehow spare me. A paradise